Hello and welcome to this mini-sode from the Knit Sip Happy channel. My name is Nancy. I'm coming to you from the east coast of Canada, just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. It's Sunday, November 24th, and it is very gloomy and rainy, but it's not blowing a hoolie like it was yesterday, so that's a good thing. I have all the artificial lights on and plus my ring light, so hopefully that will help get the colors correct. This little mini-sode is brought to you today by water. We are going out later this afternoon. My husband Brad and I are going to a friend's 50th birthday kind of open house. So I'm all dressed up and made up and ready to go. And can I share something? I'm not really looking forward to going. It's one of those group social situations where I know a few people, but I don't know everybody, and that makes me a little anxious. And I'm going to take knitting, but then that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm taking for knitting. I don't know what I have that is appropriate for chit chat. Yeah. So, and I am the designated driver, so I'll have a small glass of wine when I get there, but then I will be driving us home. Yeah. So not a normal Sunday afternoon. I said, I have to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'll probably be fine once I'm there. It's just the anxiety of getting there. You all know what I mean. Yeah. I will say this again in the next podcast, but thank you so much for all of the lovely, kind comments and encouragement and about my little teary episode that was very unexpected. I just kind of felt that my hormones were under control, and when I watched that back in editing, it was quite clear that they are not. But I am feeling much, much better, still improving daily, so it's all good. It's all good, and thank you. So there are a lot of new faces, a lot of new friends here. I'm going to do a full introduction on my next full podcast. But I just wanted to say welcome. If you're new, this isn't going to be a traditional podcast. I'm not showing a ton of actual knitting. I've got a couple of things, but mostly I'm going to be talking about what's coming up in December. So yarny advent calendars that I have, yarny knitting plans that I hope to accomplish. I can also tell you I will be doing Vlogmas, which starts next Sunday. And I'm going to have a couple of fun days. December 1st and 2nd, I'm heading to Fredericton to visit with my daughter Samantha. We have a date to go and see Wicked on Sunday. It's out in the theaters. We saw it on Broadway when we were in New York in spring of 2023. That was the trip where we found her wedding dress. There's loads of memories associated with that trip. And as soon as we heard about the movie, we booked a date together and promised we wouldn't see it with anybody else. So next Sunday morning, I'm going to head up to Fredericton, which is about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes from where I live. And I'm going to get to hang out there for a little bit. Yes, we have a new member of the family. Sam and Rob got a baby brother for Archie. This is Maverick. He is a black lab. He is cute as the dickens, but he is, yeah, we shall see. I met him a week ago, and I'm sure by the time I see him next week, he will have grown quite a bit. But so yeah, next Sunday and Monday, I will be having Vlogmas footage from Fredericton and the puppies and whatever I get up to while I'm there other than the movie. So that's next weekend, Vlogmas. Let me check my notes. There will be a full podcast episode either December 3rd or 4th. I will usually do it on a Sunday, but because I'm going to be traveling and away from home, I will do it when I get back and then edit, upload. So it should be up on the Tuesday or the Wednesday of that week, depending on how all of that goes. Plus Vlogmas. So it's going to be a busy few days, but I'm really, really excited. I'm seeing tons of clips and things on social media for Wicked, and I'm trying to stay away from them, but I can't help myself. Okay. Let's talk about what I've got for Advent calendars this year. I don't have one of them. My Yarn Indulgences Coastal Holidays, I'll put the inspiration picture up on the screen, is still at Deborah's house. I haven't picked it up yet, but I do have some other ones, and one of them we're going to do an actual unboxing. When I was at PEI Fiber Fest, my friend Lucianne from the Front Porch Knitter Oh, everything I talk about will be linked below. I will also link all the shops or people that I talk about. If they have links, will be down below in the description box. Even though it's not a full podcast, I'll still who I'm talking about. Anyway, PEI Fiber Festival. Lucianne was mentioning that she was setting an alarm and going to be on Woolens and Nosh's website to try and snag the Stripe a Day Advent that Michelle from Woolens and Nosh does. I've never had hers before, and I said to Lucianne, "Ooh, if you're up for it, I'd love to get in on that." So it ended up there were 5 of us who went in on that. Comes out of the States, which is, expensive, and but it was everything divided by 5. It was still a bit of a splurge, but I didn't have anything, and I love a Stripe a Day Advent. I very luckily won one last year because I didn't have one last year either. In late November, I won one from the Grocery Girls. And that was, Freckled Whimsy. That's who it was from last year, Freckled Whimsy. Anyway, I just cut the tape and we're unboxing this. So, Woolens and Nosh. I'm beyond thrilled you've joined me for the Advent season. We have named the Advent skein Complimentary Cocktails. Oh, I like that. I think the best thing about our Advent is we prepare the yarn so the colors are a surprise as you knit. Each of the 24 colors are separated by a thin stripe, the same color as your mini skein. So if you'd like to keep the next color a surprise, stop when you come to the mini skein color. As always, this is your Advent. You can use it in any way that you want. You might choose to make socks, mittens, or hats. It's going to be socks. Use your included mini. I'll be using it. Or save it for something else. Work a color a day? Yes. Or binge through the whole thing? No. Count down to a winter holiday or any day that's special to you. So I'll be starting this on December 1st. It will be going with me on my road trip. I hope it brings you joy however you choose to use it. I can't wait to see your progress. Blah, blah, blah. Social media. Thank you so very much. XOXO Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I'm very excited. I love the theme already. And what I've got in this box is in a bag. So from my understanding, this is already caked up. And this is the mini skein color. So, hang on, get rid of that box. So, this is, Targi fingering. I don't know if I've ever worked with this base before. I could be lying, but 90, 90-10 Superwash Targi Nylon 3-ply, 411 yards. For the 100 gram skein. This is a 30 gram mini. I thought it looked big. I thought maybe it was plump. No, it's 30 grams, 123 yards. So what we've got going on here is there's 2 pieces of yarn that are out of the bag. So I don't have to, I'm going to leave this a surprise. I'm going to cake up this mini and I'm going to have to decide. I'm going to do this cuff down. So I will use this for heels, quite possibly. Yeah, I'll use this for heels and toes. And then whatever the leftovers is, I'll be able to do a pair of shorties or not so shorties for my daughter, Sam. So we'll see. But this is genius. I've heard of this before. And now with the theme, and I'm being very self-controlled, I'm not looking in that bag. I'm going to have each day as a surprise. And yes, I'm excited. So that's going to be a Stripe a Day pair of socks. So somewhere in and around Christmas, I will have a finished pair. I already talked about yarn indulgences. That's my only other indie dyed advent calendar. But what I did, I don't know if you remember, back in March, I did another little mini-sode where I recorded myself making my own advent calendars out of scraps. So I have 2. So I used scraps or minis from swaps. This is leftover. I had a fiber advent from Bad Habit Wool Co. And they came in these little stamped bags, so I kept them. And I have, some of them are in skeins. This one's a skein. Some of them are in balls. That feels like a ball. And I said I did this back in March, so I have zero recollection of what went in here, but I know it's minis from swaps I've done with friends. Some of them might be scraps from my stash, but I've got this one in the little bags. So if you were with me for Vlogmas last year, this is all going to look familiar because I'm reusing the same Advent packaging from previous years. So this was my Advent packaging from Comfy Cozy Knits, December 2022. Hang on one second. Ashley's came in boxes and numbered boxes. So I have stuffed these boxes, again, with minis from my stash or from swaps, and I will be opening up these. So I'm going to have to be super organized next weekend. I'll open December 1st here at home before I get on the road to Fredericton. I'm going to need to dig out number 2 from these and take my stripe a day with me to Fredericton so I can open those on the Monday morning and record that for Vlogmas. So what I'm going to do with these 2, so this one and the one in the bags, I'm just going to put this down now, is the triangle wrap or granny triangle wrap. I'll put a picture in here from Annaboo's house. When I was in the UK, all of my lovely knitting friends have or were in the process of making one, and I decided that would be a great thing to do with my Advent. It's, I believe, an Aran weight. I'm pondering. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold the yarns double and do it at a DK worsted weight, or if I'm going to do it at a fingering weight single. My fear is if I do it that way, that is 40 grams of yarn to crochet into this wrap every day. If I hold it double, it's effectively only, it's still 40 grams, but at double weight, it's less yardage to have to crochet in. So I'm not sure about that yet. I'm still pondering. Last year, I did a granny square blanket that I did a joinage. I did up some plain undyed yarn around each square, and that was the fingering weight held double, and I liked that. So I may have to look back at my records and see what size crochet hook I used for that. Excuse me, a frog in my throat. I haven't talked much yet this morning. That's the other reason it's water. It's before noon on a Sunday. So my plan is every day I'm going to be opening up my Advents. I'm going to be crocheting in, 2 minis each day, either whether they're held double to themselves. I wouldn't hold them together, the two skeins together. I would use them like the inside and the outside of each ball and crochet them in that way, or singly. So that's one thing I want to be doing every day. The other thing is my stripe a day I want to be doing every day. I should be looking at my notes. Oh, that's why I should be looking at my notes. When I was watching the Grocery Girls, I can't remember what episode, they were talking about Advent knits, Christmas knits, and they mentioned a mitten mystery knit along by Talvi Knits. I'm just going to put a screenshot here from her Instagram. I have signed up for it. It's free. It's through Mighty Networks, I do believe. It's an app I didn't have. I just got the app and signed in. I haven't looked much at it. I have to do that this week. I have to figure out what yarns I'm going to use. So I don't even know how many clues there are, if it's weekly or daily, but I'm pretty sure there's a schedule. I just have forgotten all about it. So I need to look at the yarn requirements. I need to figure out scheduling, and yeah, so I would also like to, if it is a daily clue, which something is telling me it's a daily clue, or every 2 days, I'll have it linked below so you can check it out, because my memory, I didn't think to look at it this morning before I hit record. But I'd also like to do that and have a pair of colorwork mittens for me at the end of it. I don't know whether I'll do scrappy, multiple colors. It's a lot of ends to weave in, or I'll just pick something out, 2 colors out of my stash and do it that way. Fingering weight, I do believe. And yeah, if you're interested, let me know if you're going to be joining me or if you'd even heard about it. I said I hadn't until the Grocery Girls mentioned it. So that's another thing. Christmas Eve cast on will deal with that as we get through Vlogmas. I always do a Christmas Eve cast on pair of socks that I knit over the festive season. I am very lucky. I don't work between Christmas and New Year's, so I am off Twixtmas and will be knitting a lot and doing some socializing and lots of family time. And yeah, so Christmas Eve cast on to be decided. And like I said, if you're watching Vlogmas, I will keep you up to date with that. The podcast I'm doing that'll be out at the beginning of December 3rd, 4th, in there somewhere. That will be the last podcast that I do until either Twixtmas or New Year's, just because doing Vlogmas plus the day job and these crazy goals I've set myself is probably as much as I'm going to be able to do. I'm also going to have a sock launch in there as well. We'll talk all about that on the full podcast in a week and a bit. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is things I'm trying to finish this week. My hair, I'm due a haircut not for another week and a half, and I'm like, I think my bangs are too long. Yeah, things I want to finish this week. I was digging through my project bags and kind of was thinking, okay, these are things I could realistically finish before Advent starts. I have a second, drop the bag, Njord sock. I've done a pair in the Shadowed Envy and Phantom Silhouette as the color at the cuff and the heel, and I'm doing a reverse pair as well. I had done 3 socks last time you saw me. I'm knitting a 4th, and that way Tracy from Sassy Strings Yarn Studio in Alberta, I'm going to send her a green pair and a pink pair. I'm going to send her a mixed pair, one of each color, so she can use them as booth samples. I mentioned this on the last podcast, and yes, she is interested. So I have one green sock, and I've turned the heel, and I've finished the gusset decreases, looks like it. And now I just need to work down the foot. So that will take me no time of focused knitting. I'm tempted to take this afternoon. I'm not sure if I can follow along the pattern while I'm talking. We shall see. I'm just going to throw that on the floor because the bag's already down there. The other thing that I found that I hadn't touched for a while was something else I showed you on the podcast, was this pair of Shorties that is a possible Christmas gift for my son's girlfriend, but I might also save it for her birthday. I can't remember what I have for her up in the gift stash. So they may be for Christmas, they may not. But last night I turned the heel. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel with a little gusset to give me a little more depth. I did some stitch increases. I talked about this in detail in the last episode. And if I show you these as a finished object on the next podcast, I will also go through this. So I've turned the heel. I do a little bit of plain knitting after that Fish Lips Kiss heel. And now I've started the patterning. So I really have maybe 1/4 of an inch to do before I start the ribbing. Again, this can be finished in an hour and a bit and cast off and get them blocked. So like I said, I'll see what I've got for her for Christmas. If I need them, I'll pull them in. If not, they'll be for her birthday, which is late winter. Memory serves me. My calendar's on my phone. The other thing I found, and I've completely forgotten about, that I really do want to finish for Christmas is I knit these tubes over Samantha's wedding period. So the lead up to the wedding and during wedding week, I was working on these tubes. These are Turtle Pearl. This color, is Turtle Pearl, and the color is called Kiss Kiss, which I thought was appropriate for Sam's wedding. So I've got matching tubes all the way down. So what I need to do is put in some heels and separate the long tubes, and I will end up with a pair of socks for me and a pair of socks for Sam. I have a mini of the dark pink. So I don't care if mine get finished, but I have other things for Sam. I always do, and I can hang on to those, but I really would like her to have this for Christmas 2024 because she got married in 2024. So this week I need to get 2 heels and 2 toes into a pair of socks for Sam and then tuck them away. I mentioned on the last podcast, I have a rule. There is no gift knitting in December. None. So this needs to get done. That's what I'm saying. The other ones aren't that important, but this I cannot take with me. I cannot pick up stitches and snip and put in heels and toes while I'm chatting at this event this afternoon. So maybe when I get home tonight, I need to wind up this mini and get cracking at this because I really, really want a pair of socks done for Sam for Christmas. And that is it. Oh no, it's not. I have a picture of my spinning. So when I was here last time, I was still spinning the singles of that fall kind of brown, orangey, greeny fiber that I was working on. I finished spinning the singles this week and I started plying. So I'll have a picture up here for you to see it. I didn't want to bring it in and lift it because I've got 3 bobbins attached. So plying is pretty fast for me. So I will easily get that done this week because I didn't put this on my list, but I want to, where is it? Back there. No. I'm just gonna reach for it. Hold please. Sorry about that. The backwardness of the recording. I really want to spin this Pixie Yarn fiber that I showed you last time. It's already got one of my hairs on it. I want to get this on my little nano wheel. So this is something else I would like to spin for half an hour a day. We'll see if this is realistic, but I want to get it started. I'll divide it into 3 so I can 3-ply it. This is a Superwash Merino Gray base with 20% nylon. So this will be a sock spin because I love socks. Fiber ditzy. Love that because I am ditzy. Yeah, so this is another thing on my list that I would like to do in December. No deadline, but I would like to be spinning on this. It's beautiful and I can't wait. So that's why I'm speed plying through the other one so I can get that finished this week and get this on my little nano spinning wheel. And then I'll be able to show you progress through Vlogmas of how I'm doing on all of this stuff. So that's it. This is a short and sweet episode. I said it's not really an episode, it's a mini-sode, just to talk Advent and what's coming up. So I will see you very soon. I will see you. So I'm going to record the day and then I will upload. So I'm not going to be timey-wimey. I can't do that. So whatever you're seeing, you're not going to see anything on Sunday the 1st. You'll see it on Monday the 2nd. So if you're looking back a day, I find that easiest for my lifestyle. I usually kind of finish recording after supper, show you what I'm working on, and then I'm going to edit, upload, and all that good stuff. Memory serves me correctly. Last year I was editing as I was going through the day, which made life a lot easier through the evening. So I will try to do that. And I'm really looking forward to it. As I said, Christmas for me has been problematic in previous years because of running a retail store. Not my current retail store. One I ran before was very insane, stressful, busy at Christmas. And it just sucked the joy out of Christmas for me. So I'm now 13 years from my last Christmas in that business. And I'm still bringing that Christmas spirit back to life. But I am excited for Vlogmas and I really enjoyed doing it last year. And having crazy deadlines is something that kind of fuels me and makes me happy. So I will see you December 2nd when I post the December 1st video. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great last week of November and I will see you very soon. Cheers.